Next, we'll talk about feedback within Perform and Engage. First of all, feedback is available through your check-ins, of course, via the recognition function that we showed in the check-in demonstration. However, you can also provide feedback at any time during the year using what we call the ad hoc feedback feature. So here we have the feedback tab within the Me tab. And you'll see I've already received some feedback, in this case from Emily Johnson, about my presentation skills. And if I click on that, I can see the full information about the feedback she's provided. The great thing about receiving this anytime ad hoc feedback is that that feedback will automatically feed through to any of my one-to-ones or performance conversations with my manager and builds a real picture of my development and performance over the year. To be able to request feedback, I simply go to the feedback tab and click request feedback, and I can simply enter a number of people I want to receive feedback from, and of course enter the feedback topic that I would like to receive feedback about. In addition, I can proactively send feedback to somebody else. So in this case, let me find Emily Johnson, and I can provide her feedback, in this case on her presentation on development activities, for example. And I can go in and provide that feedback. So in this instance, I might say, Emily, great job with the presentation. You engaged the audience. And allowed everyone to provide input. Send feedback. That will automatically go through to Emily, and she'll receive that on her notifications as well as within her own profile. As well as ad hoc feedback, the system also supports feedback via the performance management system and via conversations. So if your performance templates have set in them the 360 feedback feature, in this case our peer feedback, you can go in and request feedback from any number of people. So in this case, I can select my peers, my direct reports, or I can specify specific employees. This feature even works with external users. So if you choose to, you can actually specify an email address of an external customer or, for example, contact or partner that you have to be able to provide that feedback that inputs into your 360. With 360s, you can ask a range of questions, and there are specific templates for 360s. So what does a 360 questionnaire look like? Well, when you receive the 360 questionnaire, it will look something like this. In this case, we're being asked to rate the individual across a number of different competency areas and then provide feedback. So in this case, I can add in my feedback. And then finally, I can choose whether my feedback will be anonymous or whether it will be provided in a named fashion. I click submit, and that goes straight through to that 360 feedback campaign. If I now return back to the review itself, you'll actually see that the data from the 360 automatically appears within my performance review. So in this case, I can see the averages of each of the scores that have been provided. I can see the responses that have been provided, and then of course, the qualitative information that's also been inputted into my 360. So however you wish to do feedback, whether that's on a recognition basis in check-ins, whether that's anytime ad hoc feedback, or whether that's as part of the performance review, you can do that through the platform using 360s.